This episode is brought to you by Maestro Sausage, the only sausage we use at Hot Tongue. They produce sausages specifically with pizzerias in mind, and you can tell. So if your sausage isn't hitting all the right notes, let Maestro lead the way. Ladies and gents, it's your guy, your boy, your man, baby, Alex Koons. I'm sitting here at Pie to Pie to bring you a fantastic slice, or maybe the whole pie. And this one with Jay from Garage Pizza. This is a big deal to me. I was just a wee lad delivering pizzas over there at Tomato Pie in 2008. Right around the same time Jay opened up Garage Pizza. I guess you could say there was a little kind of a Silver Lake pizza boom, this type of neighborhood out here. Hard Times, Tomato Pie, and Garage. They were doing things that no one else was doing. For the longest time, LA gets shit on. I'm painting the picture. Garage Pizza, they're open late. And I'm not talking about late, like noon, midnight late. They're open till 2, 3 in the morning. And I had a lot of 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning Garage Pizzas. I used to come by for slices. And that's why it was such like a full circle moment to have eaten this pizza for almost 15 years, and then sit down with Jay, who you have this idea of who maybe the owner is, or the person that started the business, and Jay couldn't have been the polar opposite of what I thought. I thought Garage Pizza was owned by like some dude from New York who transplanted here, maybe was rough and tough. Garage, listen to Metallica. That Garage was his favorite album. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that much out of desire. Anyways, Jay is actually from Windsor, Ontario. He's Canadian, so he's obviously already one of my favorite people I've ever had on the pod. Also, it was cool watching Jay start these commercials that he was making, and then to sit down and talk to him and hear that his journey here in Los Angeles started as an actor. And you're gonna see, the camera loves Jay. There was some crazy lighting. He had some Jesus lighting on him the whole time. He looks great. He tells stories great. The whole podcast I was so entertained. I was on the edge of my seat. There was ups, there was downs. This was basically inside the actor studio with Jay from Garage Pizza. He's been in it, he's been doing it, and he's also had multiple businesses. He thought, one pizzeria is doing good, let's open another. That's what we do. And I know that pizzeria is banging because I had been down there, and I know a lot of friends that went to USC that would go hang out there. Jay opened up a bar, a liquor store. He's all over the place. He also filmed a short film called Doughheads for Garage Pizza. Anyways, if you are, just stop this podcast, go check out his social media. Anyways, Jay, you're the shit. The pizza's the shit. Love you, dude. I'm happy to be in the same neighborhood, making pizzas by you, with you, in spirit. Iggy and the Stooges forever. Jay from Garage Pizza. Let's go. MailWise Solutions takes advertising to the next level. They design, print, and direct mail, menus, flyers, and postcards for pizzerias all across the United States. I've worked with MailWise before. I tried to design my own menu, and Kevin said, hey, give me a stab at this, and holy shit. When he sent me back the menu, I was like, I thought I was okay at what I did, and his design team blew me away. There's no mailing contracts, so you're free to advertise on your own schedule. Click the link in the show notes or request a sample pack at mailwisesolutions.com. Let's get you some new customers today.
Finally, I got off my ass. I was like, all right, we got to cut it. And then I cut these, but they only see their hours being cut. They don't see the risk of me closing early, because it's not like my late night hours were bad.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm in like a place where we had such a hard time hiring that like I'm so over trying to nickel and dime anybody, or like my labor cost is probably higher than most, because I'd rather just hire somebody at X amount of dollars an hour.
Yeah.
And know that no one else is going to pay them that.
Right.
Because then they stick around.
Yeah.
But I interviewed recently two people that are like in regular jobs. One was like an AV guy, and the other person worked at a law firm, like doing paperwork. But they're like making $60,000 to $80,000 working 9 to 5, and it's like they would have to take a pay cut to come work at a pizzeria, but their lifestyle would get to change. Like it would be a completely.
Right.
They hate their fucking jobs.
Yeah.
They like the money, but you'd have to take a pay cut to come work at a pizzeria to maybe like your life a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of fucked up, but you don't even have a shot hiring those people because you can't pay them $30 an hour.
No shit. Yeah. And that, I mean, that was another thing. Like a lot of people said to me, "Oh, are you suffering from the California $20 an hour?" I was like, fuck, I've been paying $20 an hour since 2017.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to find good people, and they ain't doing it for $15 an hour.
Yeah.
You know? So.
I agree. I've like minimum wage hasn't like been a crazy thing. No. I mean, I do feel like it should be something that a business owner should be a little bit more in control of. But like, and fair pay is great. It's just like when things raise up, customers should understand that like things raise up.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you have to cut shit off your menu, they should get it. You know what I mean? But they don't.
Well, because it's like a personal attack on them.
Yeah.
How dare you take that off?
Oh my God, where you took chicken away?
Yeah.
It's like, chicken.
Well, you were the only one that ordered it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I know.
And also, it's like you like maybe they ordered it once. Like they just want the option.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Were you guys cooking it from raw?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a pain in the ass. Poultry's scary too.
Yeah. It's less shit I have to buy.
You're Canadian.
I am. Yeah.
I love Canadians.
Oh wow, nice.
How the hell did you get to LA?
Well, I was trying to be an actor.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense because you can act, my friend.
Oh,
the camera loves you.
Oh, thank you.
You got the chiseled chin.
Yeah.
You got the face for it.
It's the veganism.
It's the
John dropped 10 pounds.
You're shining.
Yeah. Thank you. I came here in 2020, 24 years ago, and
in 2020, in 2000,
no,
2000.
2000.
Okay, 2002?
2000. I was here 2000.
Okay.
And yeah, am I close enough to the mic or should I be closer?
Yeah, you can feel free to pull towards it.
Okay, because I'm going to lean back. Yeah, I came here in 2000 and with dreams to be the next Harry Dean Stanton. And I was doing it. This is one regret I have because I was doing improv. And which I now come to find out when I was doing improv, the kids now that I talk to call it the golden era of improv and sketch comedy between 2000 and 2010, I guess.
Yeah.
And so I was doing that. I was in a sketch comedy group. I was performing at Second City 2-3 nights a week. And then I just quit to open up a fucking pizzeria.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah. And
you made a terrible mistake.
A fucking huge mistake, dude. But Alex, like back then, like there was no Netflix, there was no Amazon, there was no Hulu. You know, and then acting is like 1% is gonna make it.
Yeah.
Really gonna make it.
Yeah.
You know. And I was auditioning for commercials and television opposite David Faustino from Married with Children, opposite Kirk Cameron, opposite like people that were on the decline in their acting careers. There wasn't a zillion roles available. You were kind of going up against ex-celebrities.
Yeah.
So I was just, I was kind of sick of being broke. I was bartending. I was sick of customer service,
Yeah, so open up a restaurant.
So open up another, yeah.
So was this when you were working at 4100 in Edendale?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I was working at the Edendale when I opened this in 2008.
Okay.
But like looking back, yeah, I definitely regret it because really the only podcast I listened to is Howard Stern.
Yeah.
And yours. I've listened to this a couple times.
You have to. He has to say that.
I have to say that. Pie to pie. And he says, Howard Stern believes in 10,000 hours. Getting 10,000 hours in, then you're a professional, right?
Yeah. What is that? Mastery, right?
Yeah. So I regret quitting the improv and quitting the acting because I was doing it. I was literally putting in the time. And I see people that I work that I was in groups with, I've sort of made it. So there's a little bit of love lost and not a ton, because when I say I see people that are making money at it, by that I mean I see a person,
Yeah.
because like I said, it's 1%.
Yeah.
So no, I shouldn't say a person. There's a few more people that are making a living doing it.
Is that something you'd ever want to get back into?
Yes, I'm trying. I mean, I've hooked up with an agent again, so I'm I'm auditioning again commercially, for commercials and whatnot. I had 2 yesterday, so I'm trying. I need to get out there more and get back into the improv and stuff like that. But I'm lazy, man. Fucking lazy.
Has that been fun?
Yeah. I mean, the videos and the stuff that we do here and the short film we shot, Doughheads. My general manager, Kevin, is he's a musical theater trained actor. So, and he's just like a movie, like, what is it? Like aficionado whiz, like he'll talk about I'll say something about a scene that we're doing for a commercial and he'll be like, have you seen 4 Counts? And I'm with Harvey Keitel, and I'm like, no one's seen that movie, Kev. You know what I mean? And he'll bring this reference into the scene or whatever. So we're both, we both came out here with stars in our eyes,
Yeah.
So yeah, just by making the little commercials here on Instagram and Doughheads kind of made me go, oh man, I wish, I want to do this again, and maybe I can. Maybe now that I'm older, I'll be in a different bracket. But I'm also going, it's still the same.
Yeah.
It's still fucking hard. It doesn't matter.
Well, nothing's easy.
Nothing's easy. No.
And if you believe in yourself and you work hard, though.
Yeah.
What inspired Doughheads? I mean, you made a 15-minute short film that is a little out there.
Yeah. The commercials from here.
Okay, so first let's back up. The commercials, you do make funny commercials.
Thank you.
I love them.
Thank you.
I don't think that they get half as much attention as they should.
I know. Same.
You do social media very well.
Oh, thank you.
So that's what inspired them?
Yes.
You getting in front of the camera and you're like, hey, let's instead of doing a minute 30, let's do 15 minutes.
Yeah. So
because it's also filmed very nicely.
Oh, dude, iPhone 13.
The whole thing was on an iPhone? Impressive. I purchased a Gosney Arc XL recently, and the bake has been so consistent. The bottom heat of the oven and the actual arc just cooks the crust to a caramelized perfection. There is no other oven, in my opinion, out right now that is going to give you these same results. Whether you are in need of a new oven for your pop-up or your dad's asking you, what is the best oven to make some homemade pizzas? Use our affiliate link down in the show notes. Smash the link. It helps the podcast. And more importantly, it helps you.
So we started making the commercials, okay? And the commercials started to really evolve into more. They started simple, staff, introducing ourselves. Then they started to evolve into the ideas that they've now become. And when we started doing that, Kevin and I started saying, like, why not a show set in a pizzeria? Always Sunny in Philadelphia style, with just why not? Why not a sitcom type of show that's completely out there, set in a pizzeria? Based off these commercials we're doing, we had this idea. So we started just writing Doughheads, and it probably took us 4 years to film it and by the time we started writing it and film it, because it went through many different scenarios and whatnot. And then COVID hit, and we had all these funny COVID jokes where we were like, had shields up and we were talking to the staff, but then we decided like, hey, COVID's hopefully not going to be around forever. But yeah, so we were just like, let's just make who doesn't love pizza? We were like, why can't we sell a show based on a pizzeria? Because who doesn't love it? You know, not 2 guys, a girl, and a pizza joint, whatever that sitcom used to be.
Yeah,
more like a a Danny McBride type of show, an Eastbound and Down, more higher stakes type of thing.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where it was born. And then the one character, the Gordy character, who's kind of ambiguous. People are like, what's going on with that character? That was born out of COVID. I had the joke of like, when we started having to wear masks, like I just remember like the beginning of COVID, walking into the bank and pulling up like a handkerchief, you know, like bank robbers wear what are they, the Paisley handkerchiefs, putting that over my face and putting my hat on. And I'm thinking to myself, this is fucking weird. You know what I mean? Like, when can you walk into a bank with like, look like you're gonna fucking rob the place, 100%. You know? So then I just like started going through my head like, maybe I'm gonna start walking around in a Scream mask or just like a Jason mask, like just weird shit. So that's kind of where like the Gordy character, the Chewbacca or Wolf character came in. Okay. And it just kind of grew from there. And then we were like, well, is he your alter ego? What is he? So we like the audience would keep guessing with that. Yeah. You know, I wanted to kind of scrap it once COVID was done, because I said to Kevin, like, I don't know, let's just put you in a hood and Silent Bob you. Because, you know, I people that watch it told me like it's very Clerks-like he's like a Silent Bob, you know, what is he? But, you know, Kevin was like, no, man, let's just keep it. It'll keep people guessing. It's got that weird factor, you know? Yeah. So we just went with it. But yeah, dude, we shot the whole thing. So we were going through like finding camera guys, interviewing people, everything, editors, whatnot. And one day we were just like, we shoot these commercials by ourselves. We have total control over them. I have my really good friend is in New York. I'm doing the editing now, but he did the editing on Doughheads. Wants no money, wants nothing. Jumps even though he has a regular job, would jump when we sent him stuff. So we were just like, fuck it, because if we hire someone we don't know, now our work is in their hands. You know, now we got to ask them how to edit it, Bob. So yeah, man, when iPhone 13 came out, I just went and bought the iPhone 13. We got like a shotgun mic off of Amazon. Yep. And we just did it ourselves. Yeah. And we just sent the footage to Joey, my friend in New York, to edit. And we would just send him notes. And it literally, I think, took us a year once we started shooting it and editing it. So
it was the only cost the iPhone?
The only cost was the iPhone. I joke. I say we shot it on an iPhone 13 in an Amazon Prime budget. Because any prop we needed, any costume we needed, like the fencing costume, just primed it. Yeah. All in. I mean, I didn't pay Joey anything. I think I gave Joey and I were bourbon drinkers, so I used to have a massive bourbon collection before I started selling it off to pay me
to pay for the movie.
To pay me because of business lately.
Yeah.
You know, so I would just send him a bottle. I'd be like, hey Joey, you know, thanks. And he wouldn't even ask for it. I'd be like, hey Joey, here's some Pappy Van Winkle, thanks. You know, or whatever it was. Not Pappy, but whatever. You know. But yeah.
Do you think that the movie itself helped the business?
I think so. A little bit. I know when kids come in here, they see the posters. They're like, oh, wow. I've seen people post like, does your pizzeria have a short film? You know, Kevin and I recently went to a pitch fest to try to pitch it. You know, like there's literally a pitch fest every year in Hollywood that's been happening for 28 years. Yeah. So we went and pitched it in front of like Seth Rogen's people, in front of like major people. And, you know, we went, this is going to be great. Yeah, we're going to kill it. And we did. We killed it at the pitch fest and it was fucking great. And we're coming out. Yeah, the pitch went great. Man, that was about 2 months ago. Have we heard anything? Not a fucking word. Well, but ain't that Hollywood? Yeah. You know, so.
You got any plans to make more?
Just commercials.
Yeah. How long do the commercials take you?
Some of them have been like seasoning or brewing for years. Like the one that we shot recently. Did you see the poker one?
Uh-huh. The kid.
That was what's that?
With the kid.
Yeah, with the kid. Yeah, that kid's the cleaning lady's son here.
He's
genius.
Dude, he steals the show.
Oh,
dude.
Bro, I know. Everybody loves him.
Mm-hmm.
He's great.
Mm-hmm.
No acting, nothing. He steals it. But yeah,
natural.
He's a natural. That idea is 6 years old. So we had like we had like a list of ideas that Kevin and I would come up with over time, and then we just we have one that we're planning to shoot. That's an idea that's like 2 years old that we need to shoot because it's election-y.
Does it take so long because you can't find time? Yeah, I know. I have like all these real ideas in my head, but it's like to sit there and shoot them.
Yes, and
like,
edit them,
yeah.
get it done, and then if you want to use staff,
yeah.
We Alex, we try to like we're trying to make them like if Kevin and I can just do it, let's do it, or we use the kid and the other big guy because they're gung ho.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, to get here on a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning, and Kevin runs this place, so he's already busy, and he's got a lot of, he's got basically another job at home that he does. So
do you edit any of these?
I just started to edit the last 3 we put out. I edited them.
Okay.
I did, and I loved it because I could shoot them and go home and start editing them, and go back to Kevin and not have to third man it. So yeah, I just started because I just literally said to myself like, fuck it, I'm gonna edit these myself.
Does it bum you out when they don't do well on social media? Like when some do better than others? Or is it kind of just like for yourself?
It's like you said, like I think they should get more attention.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we had somebody in the movie business or television business, a guy that's a production assistant or something, say to me recently, he was like, "Hey, Jay the owner," and I was like, "Hey, this is dude, like this only the second time I heard it, and we've been doing this since 2018, I think."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Hey, your commercials are really good," and I was like, "Oh, thanks." He's like, "I'm in the film business," and he's like, "They're better than national commercials," and I was like, "Oh, thanks." And I was like, "Do you know anyone?" You know what I mean? Like, how can I take this?
I'm looking
skill?
for my break. Actually.
Yeah. How can I take this skill, even if I'm not like Alex? It's like I don't even give a fuck if I'm in the commercial. I'm at the point where like I don't even give a fuck if I'm in it.
Yeah.
Like Kevin and I are like ideas guy. Like we'll start shooting something that'll have a like we're very scripted. Everything is scripted. Everything is written. There's lines. Nothing is off the cuff, but it might turn a million times because we can riff an idea till the cows come home, So, but yeah, and he just laughed, and again, everyone's out for themselves until, if it were to ever happen, hey Jay,
until you can make a money.
Till I can make a money, exactly, yeah. But going back to Doughheads, we would love to shoot more. We have storylines, for it, but again, that took
time.
Yeah, time. What did it take? A year to shoot, maybe? 6 months, 8 months to shoot?
Yeah, it's a long time.
It's a long time. Yeah, we just took our time. And the way we did it, we would shoot a scene, send it to the editor. That was the one thing that sped it up. You normally get everything in the can, and then you send it to editing. He was editing piece by piece, so that when the final scene was shot, it was about adding it and then modifying it that way. I even had film friends that were like, "Wait, you're editing as you go?" I'm like, "Yeah, look, man, this isn't
chill.
Yeah, this is
chill, man.
Yeah, this is an MGM. This is Garage Pizza Productions here. This is how we do it. Like you said, today we're gonna shoot this scene, and 2 weeks from now we're gonna shoot that scene if we have time, and if something doesn't, if something doesn't get in the way, business.
Well, there's always something in the way.
There is for sure.
I'm gonna back up to why the fuck you opened up a pizzeria. So in 2008, you were bartending.
Yes.
You were acting.
General managing,
And you decided to get out of both of those things and into pizza.
Yes.
But you had worked at Joe's before, apparently.
I worked a bunch of pizzerias in
New York or Canada?
Both.
Okay. So
and Australia.
Oh, we got a world traveler here.
Yeah, look out. And waited tables. I've literally done everything in this business.
Yeah.
New York, I jumped around from pizza place to pizza place. I wasn't there that long before I ended up leaving to go to Australia. But in Canada is where I started in the restaurant business. I worked at an Olive Garden.
Hell yeah.
I worked.
That's my favorite Italian food.
Yeah, baby. Where I'm from in Canada, I will go on record to say is the best pizza in Canada because most of the pizza in Canada is corporate, is American, Boston pizza. I can't vouch for the cities now. I lived in Toronto, and when I lived there in 1997 to 2000, the pizza was absolutely 125% shite. Chainy type corporate vibes, just shit.
Yeah.
I would come back to my hometown, Windsor, which, border Detroit, and just scarf pizza down. My mom would be like, there's no good pizza in the city. And I'd be like, none. Where I come...
Did you ever go back there?
Yeah. I was just there in the summer.
Have you ever heard of Cowabunga Pizza?
No.
I think they're like outside or right around Toronto.
Okay.
But I should look that up. Anyways, Cowabunga,
fire good.
Pizza. Yeah, they I haven't had it, but
Toronto's definitely
great guys, and they're doing good things.
Have you gone outside of the United States with the podcast?
We have not gone international, but we've had people internationally come on.
Okay. When I lived in Toronto,
nothing.
90s, nothing. Same like here, But where I'm from in Windsor, a lot of post-World War II Italians. So Windsor, as far as I'm concerned, is the only place in Canada. I know they did a documentary about it. I know that guy, Portnoy, went there. It's the only place in Canada with its own style. Everything's shredded, pepperoni shredded. Kind of what I've adopted here a little bit. The idea was that you get a little bit of everything in every bite. You're not pulling off a piece of pepperoni that slaps you on the chin or a piece of ham that slaps you on the chin.
Yeah.
So it's all shredded. They make the cheese specific in Windsor. You can only get it there.
Yeah.
It's very New Yorky, the style in Windsor. It's just it's a game of millimeters when it comes to thickness and whatnot. So I worked at a lot of mom and pop pizzerias in Windsor, 2 of them. And my buddy's grandparents' place, which was great because they were like basically Italians that could not barely speak English. And I wanted to make pizza, but it was, no, you start on the dishes. Oh, no, you start cutting the vegetables and the pepperoni, So then, so I eventually started making pizzas as I got older. Then I worked at the Olive Garden, then in Toronto, traveled to Australia, a little bit in New York. The reason why I wanted to open a pizzeria here was, man, I saw that there was, much like Toronto, I saw that there was no pizza in LA.
Yeah.
Except for Raffalo's, Hard Times, Domino's. There was nothing.
Yeah.
In 2008, there was nothing.
Yeah.
I would sit at the 4100 before I worked there with my buddy Dave, also a Canadian. And that's one of he can come in, right?
Yeah, of course, dude.
Alberto.
He's a lead actor.
Yeah, that's the guy. It's open, I think. Hey, buddy.
What's up, dude?
I saw that there was, no pizza in LA.
Yeah.
There was nothing. So I remember just sitting at the 4100 with my buddy Dave, and we worked at a pizzeria here in Hollywood called Pizza Bella.
Is that place still there?
It might.
All those Hollywood spots are kind of trash too.
Yeah.
But like you eat them after the bar.
Yeah.
You could.
It might still be there because it was in a shopping market on the corner of Highland and right by the Hollywood Bowl.
Okay.
So it might still be there.
Yeah.
Because it was in a supermarket. So we were working there and we were just like, there's no fucking pizza here. So I had that idea in my head. I got sick of being broke trying to be an actor, So I started saving up my tips. And I was like saying to myself, you need a plan B. You need a plan B because the chances of you making it in Hollywood as an actor are pretty low,
It's the wrong frequency to be
I
on,
know,
man.
dude.
It's the wrong
I know.
vibration, you know what I'm saying?
So basically that's why, I saved up a little bit of scratch. I borrowed some money from my dad and I started looking for a pizza place. And I just was like, I've got some experience in that. I didn't want to open up. I wanted to open up a bar. Everybody wanted that glory.
Yeah, coming from that world.
Yeah. I wanted to do it, but the cost was just way too much.
Of course.
And my dad's a business guy and he was like, no, I was like, I wanted big. I wanted this. No, you need 500 square feet. You need small.
Smart,
Get them in.
smart man.
Pump them in. Yeah.
Smart man.
Yeah. I mean, this is the guy that I owe everything to, you know. It wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been able to do it because he kicked in at 75% of the dough.
Yeah.
I mean, the bread, not the dough.
He is the dough.
He is the dough man. Yeah. So which I paid him back quicker than he said to me, you know, I paid him back in under 2 years,
that's crazy.
Which was crazy. And the first thing he said to me when I gave him the final check was, I didn't, because he had owned a restaurant. And he said, I didn't expect to get a dime back, you know?
Yeah, well, it's
smart.
not surprising. Yeah, he knows what's up.
He knows what's up. He's like, I didn't expect to get any fucking money back. That's why I told your mother, I don't want to invest in this.
Yeah.
You know? He said, the only reason why I invested was because you were doing pizza. If you would have said a bar, because he owned a bar, he was like, I'd have told you no.
Yeah.
Get fucked.
Yeah.
You know?
If your sausage needs aren't hitting all the right notes, then let Maestro lead the way. Maestro has been working closely with pizzerias for decades. They produce sausages designed specifically with pizzerias in mind. And you can tell their Italian sausage crumbles look like they were handmade in your shop, and they will taste that way as well. With over 80 years in business, family owned and operated, the family is incredible, and so is their product. It's quality sausage with quality ingredients. Click the link in the show notes. A classical masterpiece awaits you. Back to the show.
So yeah, basically I wanted to make more money. I was just tired of being broke. I was tired of being in the bar, behind the bar, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Dealing with customers telling me, you have this wine. I just had it last week. Honey, I do the ordering here. We don't have it right now. I promise you. If I had it, I'd give it to you.
You're blacked out.
Yeah.
Please leave.
Yeah.
You know, with people like that, you're just like, oh, you know what? I found the wine.
Yeah.
Hold
It's
on,
outside.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
No, it's outside.
Dude, it's outside.
It's outside. No, you
Dude,
just come back and give it to him. Oh, this is the wine.
I mean, Alex, you know when the golden era of restaurants was, if you worked in them before fucking Yelp existed.
Yeah, or maybe social media in general.
Dude, I mean, when I worked in Toronto, it was like when I worked at this bar in Toronto called Lee's Palace, which is the equivalent to the Troubadour.
Yeah.
It's like the rock and roll place to work at.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm like, I saw Oasis, you know, 1,000 people can fit in. However many people can fit in the Troubadour. Oasis, Nirvana, Queens of the Stone Age, huge bands. But like, if you weren't fucking telling customers to fuck off, the manager would be mad at you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it just went with it.
Yeah.
You know, it was a time where you could just be like, hey, fuck you.
Yeah.
You know, like, not you know, take whoever's order, you know. And then all of a sudden, I remember when Yelp hit, and I just was like sitting here and like one of my cooks was showing me, and I was like, that's the fucking end right there.
Yeah, this sucks.
This sucks.
You know what's interesting is like with those review sites or social media or whatever, like it has allowed like a customer and entitlement and things to kind of like, it's forced the arm of the restaurant industry to kind of like bow a knee sometimes to people that should be told to get fucked.
Yeah.
Or like, and like, if you don't collectively do that together as like a restaurant community,
You can't.
you can't do
can't.
it. You have to bend the knee
Yeah.
every time. And I think collectively, everyone listening to this podcast, we should start telling people to fuck off. We should normalize telling people to get fucked again.
Yeah, because sometimes they need to be, you know what I mean? Or they're out of. I used to joke back in the day, and this is patented, by the way, and copywritten. It's funny
This
you
is
said-
patent and copywritten.
Before I put this out there,
Your tagline?
I joke because you talk about a restaurant is when Yelp first came out, I said to Kevin, we should start something counteractive to it called Chirp. And it should just be restaurant people, restaurant owners that are on this that would chirp these type of customers or whatever, you know, these type of customers that are, you know, this was great, that was great. Oh my God, the food was amazing, but they wouldn't give me a water, 1 star. You know what I mean? Like,
I love this place. It's my favorite place.
Yeah.
But you know what? They were closed on a Tuesday. One star.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but
Did you ever, dude? I mean, that sounds great. Chirp. It'd be nice if if you could kind of like get it on the back end of Yelp too, so you could just at their name, like Susan R. Came in.
Yeah.
And look out for her.
Yeah.
She's a bitch.
Yeah. I mean, it just was like
That'd be therapeutic too.
Yeah.
For restaurant owners, it'd be nice to just get on there and like write the thing that you want to write back to them.
Yeah.
But just write it there, and then like other restaurant owners can it's just like trauma bonding. Everyone's like, yeah, like that. Oh yeah, I saw Susan last week. She is a bitch.
Yeah. Again, but then
Chirp, dude.
Sure.
Sign me up.
And then
you need investment dollars for that?
Who do we got to talk to?
I don't know. If you're listening out there, let's make Chirp happen.
Yeah. But then again, Alex, it's like a fine line, because these people are also the people
that pay your bills.
Yeah. You know, so
well, more often than not, your customers and your community are awesome.
Are 100%.
It's just that one Jerry or Susan that can fuck your whole day up.
Yeah. And then you go on Yelp and you see that they've done a Yelp about a laundromat. You know what I mean?
Or a Taco Bell.
Or a train station.
Yeah, it's like the train station bathroom was disgusting. It's like, no shit, Susan. It's a train station bathroom.
Exactly, dude. Exactly.
Get fucked.
Yeah.
Sorry if your name's Susan out there. It's my go-to.
Yeah. I mean,
all right. Well, I could talk about telling customers to fuck off all day, but back to the pizza. When you opened up in 2008, there wasn't the only thing in this area. You and Tomato Pie opened at the same year,
same time. Yeah.
So were you, and then and they came from Hard Times. They worked at Hard Times,
but they had one down in Hollywood.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
they did have that one.
They had one in Hollywood. Across from the high school.
That's you're right.
High school.
But they came here in
on Melrose.
Yeah, on Melrose. Did you know that was
I knew that
happening with your opening?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I don't know if they knew me, but I knew that they were opening when I was
at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was a little bit of like, oh fuck, now I got to go up against Tomato Pie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And Hard Times.
I
mean, that's like you guys are. That's like a triangle.
Right. Yeah.
That's like
the golden triangle.
Yeah. That's like literally you guys were all in the same area too. And this is when pizza, you could say, like you were saying, was bad in Los Angeles.
Yes, it was. And you were only doing New York style.
Yeah.
Like there was no other style.
Yeah.
You know, because I was coming in with kind of gonna be doing Windsor style.
Yeah.
But I remember just saying to my wife, like, who the fuck knows where Windsor is? Nobody barely knew where Canada is.
Yeah.
You know, so I had to like switch gears because I had started to see like, oh, you can do New York style. When I was telling people, I was opening a pizza place, oh, you can do New York style, you can do New York style, you can do New York style. You know what I mean? To the point where, 5 years later, I wanted to put on the back of my t-shirts, yeah, we know you're from New York.
Yeah.
You know
of
what I mean?
course. Yeah.
I'm from New York. Yeah, fuck, I know.
Yeah, I know. You've told me 3 times already.
But there was nobody, and there was no other style. There was no other style in America. It was just New York or nothing. There was none of these. Which is like kind of what I refer to now as these hipster pizzas that are like the small ones that come from the nice wood-fired ovens.
Yeah.
That I love.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a crazy time, and exactly, and pizza was bad, with the exception of Hard Times. I mean, I liked Hard Times. I love Tomato Pie because it was over by Second City when I would do improv.
Yeah.
So I would go to it, and I loved it, and that's what made me nervous. I was like, oh fuck, I gotta go. I thought I was gonna be going up against Hard Times, and they've been around for a while, and I'm gonna be the new kid on the block, right? And then they were opening. I was like, oh shit,
Well, the reception was good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
It had to have been good because then you opened up one in downtown.
And then in downtown, yeah, which was fucking scary.
Well, I have a lot of hard time stories. I've eaten hard times has always been open till like 2, 3.
Yeah.
I've probably scared some delivery drivers myself in the condition that pizzas were delivered to me. I also have a lot of friends that went to UCLA that would. You guys had beer there, in downtown.
Yeah.
They would go there and drink. What? USC. What did I say? UCLA.
Yeah.
USC. But a lot of good stories, a lot of good pizza, a lot of good times. How did you get into that space in downtown? And that's 2011, and downtown is a different place now than it is then.
Yeah, and even I haven't been down there now. Late.
They kind of got cleaned up, and then COVID happened, and it's kind of
down again.
Yeah.
So it was down.
Yes.
It was down in 2011.
Like there was the only time I ever went downtown was to go to Golden Gopher.
Right.
That was it.
That was it.
I didn't leave that vicinity.
So, one maybe bad business decision I made downtown was I almost did a deal in the fucking arts district right across from
Worcestershire?
Yeah. Right across from there. It's in the space where Pie Hole is.
Yeah.
So I almost, but at that time, the rents downtown were anywhere from 75 cents a square foot.
Ooh, love that number.
To $2 at the most, right? And these people at Pie Hole wanted something like $3.75. And I remember I was going to Vegas. I got a phone call. I've reviewed the lease for Pie Hole. I've my lawyer look at it. Everything's good except for the cost per square footage. Okay. And the fact that it needed to be totally gutted and all that money. But I had figured that anyway. So I just said to my wife, I'm like, fuck, man, I'm not paying $3.75 a square foot downtown. I'm just not fucking doing it. That's what they wanted. They wanted like $4.25 or $3.75. Anyways, and then it went up after a year. So I remember I'm just like, I got the phone call from the property manager there. Are we going to do it? And I said, I reviewed the lease and I'm going to back out because I can find rent much cheaper in downtown LA. And I kind of regret that because I might still be there.
Because in that
Arts,
space.
in the Arts District is just, it's like a Silver Lake in downtown.
Yeah.
Right?
It is.
And I went for 7th and Main.
Yes, and that is a different area.
Different.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sitting inside that restaurant. It's gutted. I've got a mountain of garbage 8 feet high. Outside, there's a guy smoking a crack pipe with his pants at his ankles.
Yeah, he's probably taking a shit on the street.
Shit,
That's how you know you're in downtown.
People are yelling at each other. And I'm like, what the fuck did I do to save
75 cents of square foot?
Yeah.
Sounding a little scary now. That's what you get.
That's what I got, Alex. Like you get what you pay for.
Yes, that's what they say, right?
That's what they say, man. And it was like,
God.
fuck. But when I open,
It's gangbusters. Yeah.
Just my account, we were just like, money raining down, for the restaurant business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Able to not worry about your paycheck bouncing or being able to cash your paycheck. It was gangbusters. It was fucking gangbusters. It was great. But eventually it wasn't. I had to get the fuck out of there.
What happened?
Just getting slammed by, Joe's opened up in a great location across from the bars.
Yeah.
There's another pizzeria over there. It got overwhelming for me. One guy, I had no partners. One guy trying to run 2 places.
Yeah.
Starting to open Jay's bar.
Was this a full build out?
Yes.
Okay.
Pretty much.
All right.
No, the kitchen existed.
Oh, so you had a hood fan?
Yes.
Sick.
So it was a full build out in a sense where I had to change it to full liquor and I had to just build the bar. So the kitchen existed. So
wait, you're talking about at Jay's?
At Jay's bar.
It was
this.
This? Yeah, it was
yes,
garage.
This was a full build out.
Okay.
You want to know how much it cost back in 2008?
Yeah.
$160,000.
160 for the whole build out.
Whole build out.
So that's like you putting the hood in and like
Grease interceptor,
everything.
everything.
Yeah, that's nice, man.
Probably way different now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. 157K to be exact.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. And then with downtown, was that a full build out or was that already
Full.
That was another full build out.
It was a pizzeria, but it was another. But it was janky as fuck.
But you didn't have to do any like electrical or anything?
Everything. I had to put the hood in. I do everything
Again. How much did that cost?
Probably around 200.
Okay, well, it's still pretty good.
Pretty
and
good.
So then, how long was downtown open for?
2 years, 3 years, 2 years maybe.
Only 2 years?
Yeah.
And you were just like,
Kill
fuck it.
2 years, 3 years. I can't even remember, dude. Yeah, maybe 2 or 3 years.
And you shut your doors. What is it now?
I sold it.
Oh, you sold it.
I sold it.
You sold it.
Yeah.
So you were like, I got to get out of
I
here.
got to get out.
What is it now?
Another pizza place.
It is.
It's changed. It's been like 4 other pizzerias.
Yeah, downtown's tough. There's even more pizzerias now. Downtown.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it hard to sell that, or did you turn profit on that?
No.
No.
I've never turned a profit on a restaurant I've sold.
Nice.
Not-
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
That's fantastic to hear.
Great news.
Good news out there. Okay, so 2011, then you're working on Jay's Bar. This is still kicking ass.
Which I took a bath on too.
Garage is still kicking ass.
Garage is my accountant and I joke as this is up until 2023. This is out of all the businesses I've been in, this is the goose that laid the golden egg. Never ever a problem. Always running efficient. Always.
Well, dude, I'm looking at your kitchen setup, and dude, you have this oven that's been here forever.
15 years.
Yeah.
And
shout out Baker's Pride. These things, they build them. This is built Ford tough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro, like these guys are busting my balls to get a new oven, but I'm like, do you know how fucking seasoned this is?
Yeah, that thing is seasoned.
I can't.
It looks.
I can't get rid of this.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, it is. You could probably get a bigger oven though, right?
No,
is that
I could
what
get.
You want? Is
I
that
could
what
get
you
a
want?
Wise, a Baker's Pride Wise, which was one I had downtown.
Yeah.
Wise 702
There-
turbo.
They are not fun to fucking move. I'll tell you
That's
that much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if it ain't broke,
Don't exactly.
Don't fix it
Don't
or
fix
something.
it. Something like that.
Anyways, Jay's Bar.
Jay's Bar.
Why are you like, yeah, I want to open up a bar? Is that the ego in you that
Yes.
from 2008?
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
hey, you know, I got the garage.
Yeah.
I did downtown.
Yeah.
Now I'm selling that off.
Yeah.
But you hadn't sold it off. You haven't
I
sold
hadn't
downtown yet.
I hadn't sold it. It was still. I still had downtown. I think while I was building out Jay's
You're like,
Bar.
you know what? I'm thinking I want something else on my plate.
Yeah. Like I said, it's like this is when I was like still like I'm gonna have every restaurant in LA.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna, I came from a group of guys at the 4100, the Acme group, that used to own a zillion bars. It was them and the 213. So I worked for both of them. I worked for the 213 group.
Said Moses.
Sed. I worked for Sed and Will Shamlin, who's a guy that I would give a shout out to, who looked after me and helped me out, and hired me at the 4100. So I worked for them, Will and Michael, their Acme. They had a ton of bars at one point. Laurel Tavern they still have, which kicks ass. 4100. They had Library Bar downtown. That was another reason why I went to 7th and Main, because Library Bar was there. They had a bunch of bars around there. So, garage being open late, that was my attraction.
Yeah.
Arts District, I looked at kind of like, that's maybe a sleepy community. And
It wasn't there yet.
It wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
So I was going for that. I was like, okay, Will and these guys are over there. I know they'll have my back. I know they'll tell people about, because they didn't really have much. I think they had sandwiches at Library Bar.
Yeah.
So that was another reason I went over there. But yeah, ego. I just was like, I just want to keep doing this. I want to keep opening restaurants. This is my thing now. So and I had been. This was a Thai place. Jay's Bar was a Thai restaurant that had a beer and wine, and I just kept saying one day I'm gonna make that a bar. I'm gonna make that a bar. I'm gonna make that a bar. And then it came up for sale, and I bought it.
You bought the lease?
I bought the lease and the license for
And so
pretty
and then did you
pretty
buy-
much next
then
to
you-
nothing.
Then you next to nothing, and then you bought how much was that build out?
A lot more.
And then
$300.
how much was the liquor license?
like 100 and change.
Yeah, dude. You know, it's crazy. I talk to people like in Pennsylvania, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's like
$12.
it's like a $12 for
Yeah.
liquor, and you can serve it in.
Once you do your mailing,
Yeah,
$27.50.
it's 24 hours.
Really, like it's cheap there. They say.
Yeah, I mean, it seems much cheaper
Yeah.
anywhere outside of Los Angeles. Yeah. So how long did you have Jay's for?
Till COVID.
And then you got and then that ended.
And
So
that
you had
ended.
what 7 years?
78 years. Yeah. It's never made a fucking dime.
Did you do all this?
Anybody wants to open a bar?
Did you do this all by yourself? Did you Did you have any partners at any
My
of
dad.
these? Your dad was the partner in
When he saw this was successful,
he was like, "Oh, Jay's got the touch."
he's got the touch, but he was only my partner to help in the build out, and he wanted his money back as quickly as possible with very little on top,
Yeah,
almost next to nothing,
yeah,
and he got it back every single time. Always paid him back in full.
yeah,
But I had no partners because he was the one that told me, do not get partners. And I said, well, I can't do it without a partner. And that's when he said, when I was doing this, he said, I'll be your partner. How much money do you need? 500 grand. I don't want to be your partner. No.
what a good dad.
Yeah.
Does he support your acting stuff?
My parents said, oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Must
They
be
did.
nice.
Why were you?
I'm just joking,
Yeah.
dude. My dad's great, dude.
Yeah. Would you, is that what you, are you from LA?
No, I was originally born in Seattle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you come here to be an actor?
No, music.
Music.
I
Okay.
wanted to
Because you
I
got the
did
camera eyes.
audio engineer. Thank you, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you. Just looking at the camera.
So you're a musician.
Yeah, I came down here to record other people, and then
Okay.
I ended up working at a studio, and then be joining a band, and
Okay.
the rest is failed history.
So,
but
so we're in the same.
yeah, yeah,
Same way.
Yeah.
Fine, man.
hopefully maybe in 10 years I'll get back into music.
There you go. Yeah. It's still, it ain't good.
I find a lot of parallels in being like the creative process.
Absolutely.
With running a restaurant. I think like, going back to
You're-
your commercials and stuff, like I find a lot of creativity in like the design and I love it all.
You're branding.
Yeah.
You're branding Hot Tongue.
Yeah.
You put a brand out there that's been, this is one thing that drives me crazy about Doughheads, and trying to sell it to people. It's like, I've already sold, like Hot Tongue, I've already sold 3 successful brands in one of the hippest neighborhoods in North fucking America.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Same with you, like Hot Tongue. You've already sold a brand in one of the hippest places in America.
Yeah.
And that's where I bang my head against the wall. Like, when we went to these pitch fests, I would say, Garage Pizza, I'd been there for 16 years. I had this, I had that, So yeah, there's definitely the creative, the marketing, the creativity of the pizzas you make, the
Yeah.
food you make, tons of it.
Did you sell Jay's too?
Yes. I sold
Did
Jay's.
you make money on that deal or no, dude?
Just get out, COVID. I did not want to deal with it.
And then on
I
top,
had 7 years left on the lease,
yeah,
which I just didn't. And so then Alex, I had the bar for 8 years, 7 or 8 years, however long. I personally got paid from Jay's bar. Fuck, it's embarrassing. I don't even like, not a lot of money.
yeah,
Like people are sitting there thinking, oh, I was in there on I love about customers too. Oh, dude, you must be killing it. I was in there Friday night. Yeah, come on Monday.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know.
Come on Monday. I'm lucky if I made 150 grand at Jay's bar in a paycheck.
So
for
why
the 8
the
years
fuck did you do it, dude? Like, why? If you have 3 businesses and like you're barely
don't know.
making, you're
I
only
don't-
making money at
And
one.
I don't know why I didn't sell it.
Yeah,
Like
Earlier?
3 years in, I still haven't 3 years in, I still haven't been paid. But I've got these places paying me. I'm paying my dad back from these places.
yeah,
Not making any money over there, but it's the ego, it's the swing of it. Oh, I got this bar, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. So that's why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'm also doing it because I can make this fucking work. You know, by year 4, now I'm starting to get paid and I'm going, okay, I knew I could do it. Year 5, I'm getting sort of getting paid, you know. And then it stayed difficult. It stayed difficult to get paid, even though,
Is it still there today?
It still is there today. It's owned and operated by the guy that bought it up and was a great dude. Was happy to sell it to him because he was a great. You heard right about the guy that bought that?
No.
Okay, the guy that bought it was also named Jay.
Oh, that works perfectly, dude.
Right?
Wow.
So him and his wife bought it. They already had a ramen. I think they have a ramen place in Koreatown.
Yeah.
But a week before it was supposed to open, he passed away from. It's just a weird. Just didn't wake up.
Holy shit.
So my immediate thought was, don't fucking call me.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So is the wife running it?
She's running it.
Oh my God, that's so sad. And now it's called Jay and he's not around anymore.
Yeah. And I just was like, oh, fuck, man. Because he was gung-ho and he was such a fucking cool. He was cool.
Yeah.
You know, other than he negotiated me down to nothing, but I didn't fucking care.
The bar probably killed him.
No shit. Didn't even get it open,
Yeah.
you know? But no, he did. He was ready, man. He would have killed it. He would have killed it because he was like so fired up, so happy, such a good dude.
Yeah.
And it just sucked. It just sucked, you know.
Well,
but yeah, I sold it during COVID. Get me out of here. Started at this price. Hey, we want to offer this. I don't give it to me. I want out. And it sucked. And you know what the thing is? I was just like, so I'm in 213. I'm in Acme. I'm hearing these guys sell restaurants and make a fortune.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I'm telling my dad. I'm like, don't worry, if I got to get out, I'll just sell it and get my money back and then some. Yeah, fucking right. Not the case. But you know, liquor licenses, beer and wine licenses there's, you know, 50 to 100 grand in a sale right there.
Yeah.
The shitty part about Jay's Bar is when I had the gut in 2014 or 15 to sell it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. I had an offer that I walked away from and I could punch my own self in the face for not taking it.
Yeah.
Because it was exactly what I put into the place.
Yeah.
And the place was paid back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you could have had that money.
So I would have just got $225K.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was in my jeans.
Yeah.
After paying taxes and
Yeah.
this and that. More money than I have ever had in my life. And I said, no, I'm going to keep it because I'm going to have this bar and my kid's going to run it and it's going to make a ton of money and blah, 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 you know.
Why did your dad invest in the bar?
Why did he?
Yeah. Was it because the 2 pizza restaurants were like banging now?
And my dad loves alcohol.
Well, because originally you said if Garage had been a bar, he would have been like, I ain't fucking investing.
He wanted me to get my feet wet. I think.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
See,
he's like, lesson learned, son.
Yeah.
That was an expensive. I told you so.
Here's the thing about my fucking dad is he's been trying to get me to a bar ever since I wanted to be an actor. Like when I moved to LA, my mom and him, they had a timeshare in Cabo. And my dad would call me up and be like, there's a bar for sale down here. Think you should buy it. You know what I mean? Like
that sounds sick.
You know, no shit, right? So like, well, you want to get into it. So he was always kind of like putting that in my ear. You know what I mean? Not saying like, quit acting, you're bad at it or anything, but they knew that the chances were slim, right? So he would always say to me, like, you know, kind of put those things out there, like, oh man, you know, why don't you, there's no bars you can buy in LA. And I would say to him, well, you know, they're expensive, Dad. And my dad's old school, you know, like he'll see I'll send him a picture of a vintage car on the street and he'll be like, what's that? We're 10K? And I'll be like, Dad, in 1965 it was,
yeah,
you know, but not in 2024,
yeah.
You know? So,
he's not that old, but you know what I mean? He's business guy too. So, yeah, he just kind of always, but he saw the success here and he was like, all right, and he loved the fact that it was across the street from garage. So he knew that garage would help, with the bar.
It's kind of like a saddle or what do they call those? It helps the business.
Yeah.
I mean, there was food. There's food at Jay's. Anchor.
Yeah. Yeah, there was food.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
were you staffing all this and you're fucking taking care of all three of these?
Yes.
That was like a lot of work.
Dude, that's like, and then when COVID hit, I just was like, I had already gotten rid of garage downtown.
But on top of this, and we haven't even talked about this, you opened up. I used to go to PM Market all the time. I lived in Silver Lake on 666 Vendome, and I remember when Big Spirits opened up.
Yeah.
You opened a liquor bottle shop.
Yeah. Yeah. Stupid.
What's like the
fucking
I mean,
dumb.
I was like, damn, dude, the neighborhood is changing. This place is nice.
Yeah, dude. Oh, I know.
PM Market was a shithole, but such a nice dude who ran it. But then I remember being like, damn, this is everything was wood.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Now I can get nice liquors and wine.
Bro, it was beautiful.
Is that still there?
It is. I sold it to a guy that has a wine shop called Wine Stop.
That's right.
COVID. I sold it just before COVID. So I was getting out of there on fire. The thing with that was, okay, so it's back when I was managing.
You've owned more businesses in Silver Lake than
I know. I'm the mayor for fuck's sake.
than anyone else, dude.
So back when I was managing the Edendale, the few of us that were working there, Eddie that now owns it, and this guy Kelly, who was a little bit ahead of the time too. We were drinking the whiskey and bourbon drinkers and Blantons and we would say to the owner, hey, you got allocated this bottle. If you want it, and we might not be able to sell it, but and we would just get the Pappy Van Winkle, and we would give her the money for it, and she'd let us have it. And we put one on the bar. So started to get into bourbon and how fucking delicious it tastes and how fast it got me drunk. And then the bourbon craze blew up.
Yeah.
Right. So I was kind of sitting on a few bottles from my Edendale days, not that many, and I just got into Jay's bar and started doing and started pulling in the Pappy Van Winkles, and I thought, oh, why not do a little bottle shop? And the other thing behind the bottle shop, Alex, was I don't need a kitchen hood.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need a lot of staff.
No.
I can sit here myself.
Yeah.
This will be my, if everything else goes to shit, I can come here and run this fucking place by myself.
Yeah.
Despite reading online that a liquor store is an absolute fucking terrible business to get into. Against all odds.
Let's get into this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And despite all odds of already being the lazy business owner that was kind of running it from the outside, even though when Big Spirits opened up, I was there 24/7 running the place, but the percentages are so low. You need to be.
Well, you opened up to was Silver Sun still opened up? If anyone listens to Silver Sun Pickups, there's a very famous liquor store that is now not there anymore. Do you know where Silver Sun is? It's literally adjacent.
Yeah, of course. It's owned by not
that guy was
Jason's.
Yes, it's Jason's now, right?
Yes,
but
Jason's. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
But I'm talking about when it was Silver Sun.
So yeah, I know. Of course.
That guy was always there, and I have probably some of the craziest conversations I've ever had in Los Angeles.
I heard that guy was a maniac.
He was if he did not like you, he
chase you out with a gun. Right?
And he would have no problem telling you to get fucked.
Yeah,
whether it was going on Yelp or not.
Yeah, he didn't give a shit.
No,
I went in there. I didn't go in there enough because I didn't live over there. I lived here.
Yeah,
right behind. I lived right behind Garage for a while, and then across from the 4100. So I didn't venture out that way. But
so
So, but when I opened, that's another funny thing is because like when I opened Garage, Tomato Pie was coming.
Yeah.
When I opened Big Spirits, this other liquor juggernaut, Jason, who had one downtown,
Yeah. Was remodeling
and opening
Yeah.
across the street from me, and he was coming into Big Spirits, checking my setup up, and I think he was also a little worried. Like I could tell he was like, "Oh, this."
Well, like he basically took Silver Sun and turned it. I was like, it was what you did with PM.
Yeah.
It was like I walked into. I
Yeah.
was like, oh shit, Silver Sun's gone, and
Yeah.
like then I was like, oh, this place is nice.
Yeah.
I didn't have to cross the street though,
Right.
so I just went to Big Spirits.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Convenience.
Yeah, exactly. And I had heard that a lot. You know what I mean? And people from Silver Sun would say the same thing. Oh, we didn't come over here.
Oh,
because
sorry,
we-
I live on the other side.
Yeah,
of
leaving
Sunset.
on the side of the
Yeah.
street, you know. But sometimes when they cross, they would come over because they would be like, "Oh, you have all this like kinky hipster wine and shit in here that they don't have over there."
I like that kinky hipster
Yeah.
one.
So they would come over to me once they found out that you know, I had all this kind of esoteric selection with there's the water here that I probably need to replace.
Sounds like it, dude.
Hey, that tankless has lasted 16 years.
Damn, that's
And-
incredible. Aren't you supposed to change those like every 10?
No.
Oh boy.
There was a plumber that came in recently and looked at like one part of it and was like, just leave it alone. Still
Just
working.
don't touch it.
He's like, I can fix this, but let's just leave this alone.
Yeah.
If you work for LA Department of Building and Safety right now, you're not now. Anyways,
No, we make sure that those people can't hear this
yeah,
podcast.
they don't hear it. Yeah,
So how many businesses do you own today?
one.
This one.
That's it. That's all I want.
Yeah.
I've after I sold Jay's, COVID hit. I just was like,
So do you
fuck
feel like
this.
you got all that out of your system?
Yes, I do not want to own any more restaurants. I just want to keep this one going.
Yeah.
You know,
How do you think how's the neighborhood changed since Garage opened in 2008?
well, more pizzerias, more business, more bars. I think the clientele maybe changed because, you know, I'm the aging hipster now, I guess, you know, or the kids are, you know, there's a whole new generation of kids coming in, which is cool.
I feel like Silver Lake used to be a little grimier.
Oh, definitely. That's what I was going to say
Yeah.
too. I mean, dude, I got mugged. I got held up with a gun across from this hotel.
Is that hotel still vacant?
Yes.
Yeah.
In
When did you get mugged?
So in 2000, I was working at a pizzeria. Okay. And this is a honest to God fucking true story. Not fiction, not making this up whatsoever. And I'm a bit of a maniac, Canadian hockey player with a lot of kind of fighting in my background, starting in hockey. I did some boxing. I did some Muay Thai boxing. And I'm working at this pizzeria in Hollywood for 14 hours a day, trying to just make a living, right?
Yeah.
I get off the
Cash under the table?
No,
Okay.
no. I get off the bus on a Monday night after Super Bowl weekend. I'm 26 at the time, so there's extreme partying going on in my life. I'm super fucking hungover. I've worked 12 hours a day. I get off at Vaughn's over here. I live across street from the 4100.
Okay.
I'm walking. I'm fucking tired. I've been shit beat out of me. I've got a Discman, right?
Sick, dude.
The headphones on.
Yeah, what are you listening to?
Probably Helmet or Quicksand or
Okay, nice.
something with a lot of testosterone. in
Okay.
it. And I'm walking home.
You got the non-skip on, is that what you said?
Yeah. Oh yeah. My mom got it for me
Yeah.
so I could run with it.
Of course.
You know?
Yeah, I've got.
And I get across from the hotel, and I'll never forget vivid things about this because there was like the bus stop sign. I think it's still there. It's got to be. That kind of not saved me, but saved me. But anyways, so I'm walking. I've got the headphones on. Like unbeknownst to me, that there was a guy that worked at the Akbar, and I
Yeah.
guess the bouncer from the Akbar was yelling at me to try to get my attention because I was being creeped, I guess, by gangsters. And out of the blue, I'm just walking, head down, tired. Out of the blue, right across the street over there's a little plaza across from the hotel. A kid just steps in front of me and he puts up a gun and he says, obviously, give me your money. And I don't hear him. And I'm like, fuck. And I could see this kid is young and also looking scared, right?
Yeah.
And he's got a gun and he's not pointing it at me. And I just take my headphones on. And I'm like, and I just thought, fuck this. He's not pointing. If he points this at me, I'm fucked. So I'm bigger than him. I immediately lunge forward and I grab his gun hand and I grab him and I pull him in tight. And I'm holding him and he's just kind of, and I'm fucking choking him. And I see the bus stop sign behind me and his arm is lined up with it. I swear to God, this is not like Van Damme or I'm not lying with this. The bus stop sign is lined up with it. I fucking smash his arm off the bus stop sign, right? The gun like fucking Fosbury flops in the air. I yank him in like this, and I'm holding him. I'm looking for the gun. I'm squeezing. I've got him in a headlock. I'm looking for the gun, and I'm like elbowing him in the back. And then, out of the blue, a bigger dude, who I guess was up in the car waiting, comes running, and I just see him at the last second. And I'm trying to get the gun. I'm trying to mobilize it. I just see this dude at the last second, and he's just coming in with a high arm. So I just push the kid. I take a shot from him like that. I block it, and I just throw a wild kick, and I fucking run. And I run straight to the 4100 and in the bar. And I'm just like, nerves. I'm give me this, give me that. So we call the cops. The cops come. They're like, oh yeah, this was a gang thing, First thing the cop says to me, you're lucky the guy that got out of the car didn't just shoot you in the head.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, thanks for making me feel bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was like, you should have just given him your money. Dude, I'm a pizza maker. I don't got fucking money. You know what I mean?
Well, you hold on to that disc, man?
Yeah, I still got it.
Nice. You didn't drop it?
No, I did. It was, and that was another thing else. I was like, I think there was he was just like, he said something like money. And I was like, all I got is this Discman, and it was wedged in my jean jacket pocket.
Yeah.
So it was not coming out. And
you gotta make sure that doesn't skip.
Yeah. But I just reacted quickly. I was just like, if this guy points the gun at me, I might be fucked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wanna make sure he does not point this at me. And I just immediately grabbed, he was really close. So I just immediately did that and pulled him in and held him here and then just smashed his arm off the thing. And then, I'll never forget that, just seeing that nickel-plated gun just in the air, fucking spinning. It's crazy.
Well, yeah, that could have gone very differently.
Very differently.
Yeah.
Very differently. And another thing about my dad is he wouldn't buy me a car. He wouldn't lend back then. He wouldn't lend me. I just needed $1,500.
Yeah.
Because I had already $1,500.
Get a nice little Corolla,
Yeah, that's it. A Prelude.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to tell my mom that this almost happened, because she would be like, you got to leave America with those crazy Americans and their guns. You know, the first thing she would say, And I called my dad. I was like, Dad, come on, just $1,500. I'll fucking pay you back. I'm working 14. And again, I paid him back $1,500. So he was like, why, what happened? I told him, and he was like, you crazy son of a bitch. All right, go find a car. I'll give you $1,500. He's hemming and hawing about it. I'm like, he's got some dough.
Yeah.
He's crying about whatever. But anyways, I was able to get myself a Honda Prelude.
Good.
It took getting held at a gunpoint.
Well, at least something positive came out of it.
There we go.
Yeah.
And
there's always a silver lining.
And that Honda Prelude, I drove that thing till the wheels fell off.
100%, dude.
But also, Alex, talk about making money. When I sold that Prelude for $700 cash, I heard that it conked out on buddy. It was a buddy's parents that bought it.
Yeah.
Sort of a buddy. I heard that it conked out on them a year later, and I was like, oh no, sorry. And he's like, dude, $600. You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah, you drove for a year.
Yeah,
It seems like they got their money's worth.
But I was even surprised I got $600. What I'm saying, moral of the story is,
the resale on a Honda as a Honda driver for the last 20 years is incredible.
Yeah.
I put 216,000 miles on a Honda Civic driving pizza, and the thing still sold for $4,500 when I sold it.
Dude, I made more profit off of selling my Honda Prelude than I did Jay's Bar.
That is not good.
No.
All right, so
Just kidding,
back to my original question, though.
Yeah.
So the neighborhood has changed a lot.
Yes.
It is
Yes.
nicer.
Gentrified 110%.
There's more, although that hotel is still super sketchy.
And that's been paperwork to be multi-use buildings going on decades.
Yeah, I remember when it got painted all white. That was cool.
Yeah.
A lot of pizzerias. How has it affected the neighborhood changes affected Garage Silver Lake?
Positive. I would say mostly like
All
positive. Like
positive?
even I used to be scared. Oh, like downtown, all these pizzerias opened up, and I was out of business. Maybe the reason why I was out of business downtown was because I wasn't there enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe I could still be there if I was more heart and soul. Which the fact that I have all these pizzerias, how many on Sunset now? Pizzana, and then there's the other one down there.
Wood, the Sorteds.
Yeah, the Sorted.
Yeah.
All these pizzerias, and I'm still going strong here.
Yeah.
So I think it's all, I love it. I think it's all positive, bar across the street, bar here, bar there. It's all, the more the merrier.
You stay open later than, and you just cut this for the first time ever.
16 years.
Did you stay open so late because of like coming from the bar industry?
Yes.
Yeah, you just wanted to have that a place. And like, was it ever tough staff? Like, if you're staying up until 2 a.m, what's your staff look like? Is that 2 people, 1 person?
No, it's too much as far as I'm concerned right now.
Too much?
Yeah. There's like 3 or 4
People from
midnight to close.
really 4
Yeah,
people?
Yeah.
And like, is there a hot pocket in sales? Is it like 1 to 2, 2?
Yes, exactly. 1 to 3.
Yeah.
2:30. Yeah, for sure. I mean, even closing Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I was looking at the numbers going like, I don't know why I have to close early, but the cost of staffing it, the cost of goods, the cost of operating it just seemed to be overwhelming, as opposed to staying open, because the numbers of being open late, even those days, were still good.
Yeah.
We're still good. Good
Well,
numbers.
it was I've lived here since 2006, and since Garage has opened, it's always like if you wanted to get food late night and you didn't want to leave your house before like Postmates, everyone was like, let's just get Garage.
Exactly.
You always knew that you could get pizza after midnight or coming like, let's grab after the bar.
Yeah.
Like, let's get it delivered. When did you stop? Because you used to deliver your own pizzas too, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. When did you stop doing that?
Soon as the Postmates and the Ubers.
So you adapted right away?
Quickly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I should get a better percentage Uber Eats. I adapted right away, pretty quickly. 2000, but I think I still had drivers up until 18, 19.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I feel like I got a pizza delivered from you guys in 2019.
Yeah, I think I still had drivers going then.
Yeah.
You have your own driver still.
We
right?
just we 3 weeks ago we stopped. I think maybe I said this when I saw you briefly, but I just never thought I was going to work at a pizzeria because I started out as a pizza delivery driver. Best job I've ever had. I never thought that I would work at a pizzeria that didn't deliver its own pizzas, but that's
the age.
That's the age.
You worked as a delivery driver
At Tomato Pie.
with a Thomas guide.
I had a Thomas guide and a Razor phone. And dude, I knew Silver Lake better than anyone in the fucking world, dude. I did 58 deliveries one day in one shift, and I would take 10 at a time, and I'd be back in 38 minutes.
Damn.
Yeah. Because there would be a ticker, but it was like I could like they called me Johnny Clearboard, dude. I would just like fucking I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna hit Lyric, I'm going up there, I'll end it Earl, and then I'll go up Baxter, and I'll just drop down there to Echo Park, and then I'm back.
Johnny Clearboard, that's great. Bro. I mean, think about it. I was delivering pizza too with a fucking Thomas guide.
Yeah.
Standing out.
That's how you got good, though. That's how you got good.
Like cell phones were a thing, but kind of, I had one obviously, but like, I mean, I also delivered fucking pizza in a time where there was no cell phone back in Canada, where like, I gotta go find a payphone to call someone because I'm here with your delivery, and it's minus 10 degrees outside.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah.
It's crazy when you depend so much on technology, it kind of inhibits you from actually learning something.
Yeah.
Because even the delivery drivers that we had, if you're using GPS the whole time and you're looking down at your phone, one, it's dangerous. And two, then you're on your phone. I don't know. Like when I had memorized the neighborhood, I took it very seriously too.
Yeah.
But now you don't need to know anything.
You don't need to know
because you
anything.
got Google.
You got Google. But
Google is God.
You know what blows my mind is we're a half 4339 and a half.
Yeah.
West Sunset.
Oh, there's a lot of halves.
There's a lot of halves.
Fours. I've never seen that before.
With Toast delivery through DoorDash.
Yeah.
The drivers, it's only doing it with Toast delivery through DoorDash.
Yeah.
The drivers are getting sent to a half West Sunset. So I had to shut Toast DoorDash delivery off because it just was fucking up everything. But you have this technology. You don't show up at the half and notice that it doesn't say garage or Google. You're with your Thomas guide, you would have figured it out.
Well, no shit, but I don't want to talk too much shit, but it says like pick up at Garage Pizza. There's a huge sign out there that says Garage Pizza.
Yeah.
Man.
Anyway.
What? You've been doing this for a long time in pizza.
Yeah.
Does it get easier?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It should.
Would you say that your first couple of years were the hardest?
Yes.
Just like is there like a hump? Because I feel like Hot Tongue's been in February to be open for 3 years, and I feel like just now I'm seeing the growth that I want, and it's not easier in any way, but like I feel like there's a period where you're just trying to get out there. You're just trying to get your sea legs.
Yes.
Was there a year that was like, all right, I feel like I'm kind of getting this. It's getting easier.
3.
Yeah, year 3.
Yeah. 3 and 4 is when I started to like
be able to step back.
Be able to step back. I remember being at dinner with my wife and not being here and thinking, holy fuck, this is the first time in my life where I'm not working, but I'm making money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was like super gratifying for me, And again, I was doing everything like you probably are now. I was, it was my accountant that said to me, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're delivering the pizza.
Yeah.
You're cooking the pizza. You got to change that up. You got to run it. You got to be the guy behind the scenes, and that kind of like, which is what I wanted, believe me, and now I'm kind of spoiled. But definitely like year 3, I want to say though, for me right off the bat, I had less competition than you. So almost right off the bat for me, I was running.
Yeah,
I was running
because it was like they people hadn't had what you were doing.
Yeah. There was not. I was the only one. There was nobody open late.
No one's doing slices in Silver Lake.
No one's doing slices. I don't want to be more of a These last 2 years have been the hardest years in business for me.
Yeah.
23 and 24.
I think that's the case for everyone.
I know. I've been just like bashing my head against the wall going, my fucking sales are huge, but my cash flow is, walking a very dangerous line.
Yeah.
But definitely, to answer your question, after year 3 is when I started to kind of
get a little easier,
start to walk away, start to take the gravy shifts, the day shifts.
Yeah.
Now to a point where I just come in Thursday, Friday, and Saturday and work for a couple hours and I'm out of here.
Yeah.
So
what's been the biggest success for you throughout the last 16 years here? That could be anything.
Yeah. That's a good question. What is the biggest success? I mean, just being an independent business owner that made it, dude. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
100%.
That's been able to eke out a living at it. Be able to produce a brand that people like, you know, that people know, is very cool. I'll never forget. One time I was walking around the Americana. This is at least maybe going back a decade or more, or 5-10 years. And my wife and I were walking through the Americana, and it was really busy outside there. And I saw this high school girl or teenage girl walk by me wearing a Garage Pizza t-shirt, and she had modified it. Sleeves were cut off. And I just remember thinking, I didn't stop her or say anything. I just was like, fuck, that's cool. You know, I just remember thinking, wow, like I created that.
Yeah.
And that person has
saw
no
it in the
idea
wild.
I have no idea who I am. And you know, now with social media, you get tagged when like band members, and you're kind of like, that's cool, you know?
Yeah.
So that kind of thing where like, you know, you could put out a restaurant and it could just be accepted by no one and be a dud.
Yeah.
You know? So that warms my heart, you know?
Did you do all the branding for Garage,
Yeah.
Jay's?
Yes.
Yeah. Big Spirits? With help.
With help, like, you know.
'Cause I mean, you know, we talk about like getting money and stuff, but like being able to sell something that's like Jay's still there.
Still there.
Like you sold a brand.
Yeah.
There's success in
Yeah.
that. Not everyone can do that.
Right. They wanted to change the name to their other ramen house, I think.
Yeah.
But I think they were like, this place is already established in the neighborhood. Why would we do that?
Yeah.
You know?
What's Big Spirits is what again?
It's called the
wine
Wine Stop.
Yeah.
Wine Stop.
Did they change much in there?
I think they basically just do beer and wine.
Yeah.
Like, they don't even do the liquor anymore.
I would be selling liquor.
I would be too, Alex, but they're kind of smart because your biggest market, the thing you make most money off is wine.
Really?
And the thing, wine and beer.
I knew that.
Yeah, Alex, wine and beer
Yeah.
sell. Liquor fucking sits.
Would you ever want to get a beer and wine license here?
Not anymore.
Yeah.
I did. Now,
you've seen it.
I've seen it.
You've seen it, dude.
Because you know, like it also opens up a can of worms with the staff, right?
Yes, I just had, but yes, it does.
It does.
Yes, I've had plenty of experiences
Yeah.
yeah.
When I had beer and wine downtown, I mean the drivers looking at the drivers looking at staff on camera at 4 a.m. sitting at one of the booths.
Well, especially being open so late. Yeah.
Going and pouring themselves beer, and you want to be fucked off about it, but if I didn't do the goddamn same thing at the 4100 and the Edendale, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you were that guy.
I was that guy.
Well, I think
I was at the 4100 till 5-6 in the morning with Kiefer Sutherland drinking, and we would all go back to his house.
Yeah.
You know? I was there. We were there. I was there in the Kiefer Sutherland years, which were fucking amazing years.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were around then.
I think I was.
Oh,
But
oh.
I would see him at Good Luck in Los
Good Luck.
Feliz.
He was everywhere.
Yeah, I would see him all the time
He
there.
was everywhere. Dude, he was a legend. He was
Yeah.
everywhere. He would bring.
You ever run into Andy Dick out here?
No.
Oh, everyone's got an Andy Dick story.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going about Kiefer, though.
I mean, he would just bring
You're one
us
of us
back.
now, Michael. Those are worms.
He would just bring us back to his loft over here. And I just remember walking out of his loft at 8, 9, the sun coming up, and fucking beautiful girls in there, and not getting one of them.
Yeah.
Because I'm the fucking bar back at the time. You know.
Good looking guy, dude.
Yeah, but they're all vying for Kiefer.
Of course.
But I will say this, Alex. You know what was fucking great about going there? Because I play a shitty guitar myself.
You're like, hey guys, here's Wonderwall.
Yeah, exactly. I always love that song, that line in the Rolling Stones. You know, I play a bad guitar, and a bad singer. He just had a fucking music studio in there.
Yeah, he plays.
Dude, I mean, so in this loft that he had, everybody partying in this one room, and you could creep off to the studio. That was like Guitar Center.
Yeah.
With drums. So we would just party and just, whoever was there, we're jamming. And it's like, oh, you want to play that D18 Martin from 1956 and just pull it off the wall, whatever it was, you
Yeah.
know? It was crazy.
Well, having that experience though, is it easier to be more empathetic when like you would have like team members be like, okay, listen guys, like, I've been there, I've done that, I've seen things, but let's not do that.
Let's not do that.
Yeah,
it's not. Now you're on the other side of the coin.
I know, which is so great because life is about perspective, and so many times people don't have that perspective.
No,
but when you do have a well-rounded, I feel like I'm really good at this industry because I have the perspective of most places. Sometimes I got called in on Monday. I was in bed and they said, hey, my manager was like, I'm feeling really sick. I got to go home. And I go, okay, I'll be right in. I did dishes until 11:30 at night. And I needed that. I needed a refresher on how shitty
it can be.
That dish pit can be.
Yeah.
And what my expectations for people are. There needs to be a give and a take. Because if I'm not in the dish pit myself until 11:30, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I hadn't been partying until 4 a.m. and I felt I deserved a drink after work or whatever it is. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And that's great that your staff sees that. Is your general manager doing the dishes on a Monday?
Yeah.
Dude, my guy does them on Tuesday here.
Yeah, Kevin. Everyone does dishes. It's a shared responsibility.
Okay. Yeah, we're lucky enough to have a fucking solid ass dishwasher here.
Yeah.
But on Tuesdays, one of his days off, my general manager Kevin does them. You know.
Is it tough hiring a dishwasher? Keeping a dishwasher?
Yes.
That's the hardest job because no one wants to fucking. I mean, dude, I did them for 2.5 hours and I was like,
fuck this.
I'm closing down.
Yeah.
We're closing down.
Yeah.
This is it.
This is it.
That's why. That's why I won't hire. I will not put a position for dishwasher. I saw at Tomato Pie. I saw so many people walk off the job.
Yeah, dude. We were doing the same thing. Community dish.
Yeah.
Community dishes.
The community dish service.
Because the drivers did them.
That's what we did.
The drivers.
And now there's no drivers.
Now there's
anymore.
no drivers. And somehow we just got lucky with John. He just showed up on our door.
Yeah.
And he just wants to do dishes.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to make pizza. Guy's a fucking legend.
Yeah.
He just wants to do dishes. You know, he gets a couple nights off. So then my general manager, Kevin, who's fucking awesome, he does them too. See, this is where like I'm lazy. If that happened, they wouldn't call me. They would call Kevin. Kevin would have to come down here and do the dishes. You know what I mean?
Well, they did.
I got to the point, Alex, where I'm like, they have my number, Kevin. You're fucking fired. You know what I mean? Like, how did they get my number? But it was your general manager, right?
Yeah. Well, my general, and she called the other manager, and the other manager was like, call Alex.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I get it. It's like, it was a fucking day though. Yeah. It was a day because I'd only been gone maybe 3.5, 4 hours, and then I had to be back at 6 a.m. But that's how it goes. It's like, but at that dish pit, I'm thinking like, what am I doing with my life?
No shit.
Is this what I'm going to do for the next 10, 15 years?
Yeah. Run back and you have to jump up to the dish pit
because like
you won't, dude.
I don't want to get so far away from it. Like I said, that I felt that way for 20 minutes when I first got there. And then I was like, you know what? I need to do this shit more often. I need to understand what it's like because when they complain about dishes to me, it's like, listen, I did dishes for 8 years.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can say that, but until I'm there for 2.5 hours doing dishes because no one did them the whole day, I don't have the perspective. And so it was good for me.
And that's what I'm saying to you is like, maybe me being the behind the scenes kind of lazy guy where not lazy, just behind the scenes, not doing the jobs anymore, where I don't have that, where I have to bite my tongue.
Yeah.
I can't say to Kevin, hey, we got too much staff on a Friday. We got too much staff on a Saturday. Well, then come fucking down here and take a look, Jay. You know what I mean? And recently I've been coming here more at night, not working, but just hanging out, watching the flow. Do we need this? And I had the same kind of perspective Labor Day weekend, because he took the Friday off, right? And I think I was telling you before this podcast started, and it was just Kevin and me here, and Kevin was doing the prep in the back, and I was making the pizzas like I do on Saturday mornings. Well, on Saturday mornings, I can make my pizza nice. I can do it my way and put them in, and it's never crazy busy.
Yeah.
It's only busy when I fuck something up. Like when I don't read a ticket that has 2 pizzas instead of 1, then I'm in the shit. Well, the Friday of Labor Day, I saw you because I came over to Hot Song after to get pizza.
Yeah.
And I got in the shit, and I remember standing in front of the oven going, oh, fuck, 4 more pizzas, 2 more pizzas. And I'm just like, and Kevin's doing his thing in the back. And then I just had to go, Kev, you got to take over. Because this is going to go off the rails. And it kind of did go off the rails,
Yeah.
We were giving away a lot of free cookies that day, But, one thing I think, one thing I learned in business is, or in just general in life is like, they definitely teach you this in improv is like, just take it. Like be able to say that I fucked up.
Yeah.
I always like in staff meetings say like, if I'm wrong about closing early or I'm wrong about taking chicken off the menu, I'll admit to it. I'll say it and I'll put it back in place.
Yeah.
I sat there with Kevin on that Friday because, I might not agree with him on certain things. And I sat there on that Friday and I was like, sorry if I ever talk shit about this and that about, you doing it. Because he just got back, he just took over and just bailed us out.
Yeah. It's
So
humility. I mean, a lot of, and pride. And it's a very big skill that I've worked for a lot of people who have never been able to say, I'm wrong.
Right. No, same.
And I think most people don't like being wrong.
No.
So it's hard for them to admit it.
Yeah. I mean, I know like, the one thing they would teach you in improv was like, get hit by it. Say you're wrong.
And isn't in
that's
improv,
life.
isn't it always yes too?
It's always yes.
Or
or it's dead, right?
Yeah.
Which is something you can carry when you do podcasts, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always yes. And one teacher would always say like, somebody cast a line at you and you miss it, get hit by it. That's funnier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Admit to it. And that's what kind of taught me. I'm also, I think my parents raised me right. I've also always accepted humility and being able to
you're
say,
Canadian.
I'm Canadian. Yeah. So I've also been able to say like, hey, I fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm wrong. And like I said, I always back myself up in business. I always say to these guys, hey, if I'm wrong, we'll go back to doing it that way or your way. And I, put that out there because I understand I might be wrong. I don't go, I'm the fucking owner. I'm right.
Yeah.
Who wants to work for that guy?
No.
These guys Alberto, how long have you worked here? How long have you worked here?
14 years.
14 years. Everybody that's worked here has been here.
It's a long time for a pizza place. Yeah.
Yeah. Every guy that's worked here has worked here for 10, maybe 10
Well, that's
plus
what
years.
you want, man. No turnover. Treat people well. That's a real family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That word gets thrown around, but
Yeah.
that's a real.
And that's when you get a little upset and like you were talking about earlier, you want to take a step back before you go, fuck, before you want to get mad at them
Yeah.
about cutting hours or about taking this off. You need to take that step back because everybody is kind of in for themselves,
Yeah.
to where, like recently I had to slash the hours and the overtime because I just couldn't afford to do it anymore.
Yeah.
And of course they're all looking at their paycheck going, fuck. And their thought isn't Garage Pizza might go out of business. Their thought is I'm making less money. And I get that.
Yes, 100%.
I get that,
Yeah.
And I want to take care of them. I want all of them to be happy. That's why when my accountant said 2 years ago, you need to cut the overtime. And I just went, well, I don't have to hire somebody. These guys are amazing. They're fucking great. My staff is great. And anytime they come to me and they want something, a raise, a bonus, or a little some help, I always try to give it to them.
Yeah.
Always, if I can. And I always can,
Yeah.
But, just a little harder nowadays.
Yeah. It's not getting easier.
No. But we just adapt, right?
Yep.
And another thing, my accountant's always said to me too, is like, you just can, and it, like you're making the changes, you're throwing in specials. You can just never rest on your laurels. You can just never go, I'm good. I don't need to do anything else. I don't need to change anything. Unless you're fucking in and out, you know?
Unless you're in and out, or unless you have social media influencers coming into your
Right.
restaurant every fucking day.
Yeah.
And
Or
that's-
you're at LAX or
Yeah.
something, you know, you got that built-in fuck off.
Yeah,
client,
but I'm
you know?
sure that comes with a whole lot of headaches too.
It does. I looked into it.
All right, I got the last question for you.
Sure.
All right.
This has been fun.
Who is the greatest recording artist or band of all time to Jay?
Good question. And for me, I would have to say the Stooges, Iggy and the Stooges for me. I love that question. It's a hard one, but when I was a grunge kid. I'm 50 years old, so I grew up in the heart of grunge. And I remember when I was working at Lee's Palace in 1998. So I was 24 years old. I had never heard Iggy and the Stooges. I'd never heard the Stooges. But I was listening to Mudhoney. I was listening to all those grunge bands. The ones that weren't, I mean, hell, I like Nirvana. But if you like the Smashing Pumpkins, I liked Tad or these kind of offshoot bands.
The real cool kid.
The real cool kid, supposedly. You know, even though years later you come to go, holy fuck, the Smashing Pumpkins are awesome.
Siamese Dream is like one of my favorite albums of all time.
It's amazing,
Yeah.
you know. But when everybody was listening to Metallica, I was like, fuck them, you heard White Zombie?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I remember I was playing Mudhoney at Lee's Palace, which was a rock and roll venue. And this guy, Gary, that was working there, was like, who's this, Jay? And I was like, Mudhoney. And he was like, it's pretty good. And he goes, just basically Iggy and the Stooges. And I was like, what? He's like, Iggy and the Stooges. And I was like, no, it's Mudhoney. And he's like, dude, have you heard of Iggy and the Stooges from the fucking 60s? Iggy Pop. I'm like, I've heard of Iggy Pop. He's like, wake up tomorrow. I know you go to the record store every Saturday after you get your tips. Go get fucking Iggy's first record. No, get all three of them. And I remember I fucking bought all three of their records.
Yeah.
And, you know, smoking weed back then. And I just put it on and I went, holy fuck. This is everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's everything. I mean, Funhouse and that first record is like, it's just the greatest rock and roll. I mean, it encompasses everything to me that rock and roll is about. You know, it's cheeky, it's fun, it's easy, it's got the licks. I mean, no fun, maybe call mom on the telephone. Like, it's such a great line.
Yeah.
You know? In fact, I've had it in the ear before. Like, all these, I don't know. It just definitely, you know, for me, I think, and I also think that Iggy and the Stooges don't get the credit that, like, say, Zeppelin, The Who, The Stones, The Doors, all these other bands get.
Yeah.
You know? So, Iggy, if you're listening,
Garage Pizza. So
Garage
like,
Pizza gave you a shout out, you know?
Nah, he's-
oh, there he is.
He's still right there.
Yeah, he's pointing at, you know, we were there. Garage Pizza was there back in the day.
He's still looking good, dude.
Dude,
He's looking great.
he's looking great.
Yeah, he's still rocking.
He still is. But yeah, I mean, I just remember hearing that and then immediately understanding what Gary was saying. The bartender was like, I just was like, holy fuck, this is it. This is Mudhoney. This is it. And it was just,
He was influential for sure.
so simple and just perfect rock and roll.
Yeah.
You know, just perfect. Not, you know, especially at a time, not that I was alive, but I think when everything was kind of like Emerson, Lake and Palmer and solos and timpanis and all these fucking instruments. Here comes, you know,
Yeah.
just like crazy.
Well, thank you, dude, for making this time.
Thank you.
I've been talking to you for a minute.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
glad we got to sit down.
Same.
This was a pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed that episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you so much.